Hello friends, very good morning to all of you. So today we are going to discuss PF 5 to 52, that is how to do the validation of the access token. So if you remember that in the auth session we talked about like all the flows like different grant flows, application onboarding. Now let's try to understand how you can do the validation of the access token, right? Maybe if you remember that we have a diagram where like resource server can have a bi-directional connection with the authorization server. So that is basically to do the validation of the access token. So we can just try to understand that if we have generated the access token from the PingFederate authorization server, so how we can do the validation of that. I'll just show you using the Postman, so we'll get to know how you can validate the access token. Yeah, so let's begin. We're in PF52 and we'll try to understand that token introspection call, how we can validate the access token using token introspection. So you can see the diagram I'm just presenting. So like the token introspection is basically the resource server want that, right? Resource server want that access token to validate whether the access token is valid or not. And how it can validate? It can just validate by using introspect call to PingFederate authorization server who basically issued an access token. So as you can see in this diagram, like basically the token introspection request has been sent from resource server to authorization server. Then authorization server will just send a token introspection response, which basically tells resource server that hey, the access token is valid and it's fine. Then only resource server allowed the client to access the protected resource. Okay, we have another way also to do the access token validation, that is using OAuth JWKS key. We'll just look after this session, but yeah, in this let's talk about introspection. Now how to test this in our current configuration. So let's jump to the PingFederate and let's take an example. Go to auth. Yeah, so you have Salesforce, like let me open Postman also. So first we need an access token, right? Then only we can test this. So I see that we have Salesforce test and the connect client ID is something with XPT1. Just validating that XPT1. Okay, this is the one. Salesforce OAuth. Okay, so we have this is the connection for this. We want a access token validation. So you just need to in the PingFederate you just need to enable the access token validation option. You can see the client is a resource server. So for this you just need to enable the access token validation to test that introspect call. So just enable this and then save it. Okay, and do the cluster. It's already replicated, cluster is done. Okay, so now if you can just open the Salesforce OIDC, so we have the access token validation. Sorry, what happened? You open the correct one, right? Salesforce OIDC XP O12, yeah. I think why it's not enabled. Let me try again, or maybe I enabled for another one, or not sure. Let's save. Cluster is done. Let's check again. 2LU. Okay, yeah, access token validation is enabled. Now we can test the introspect for this connection. So for this, let's go to the Postman and first generate an access token, and we can use that token to do the validation. So we have all the details added here. Just go and create a new access token. Hit this. Enter the ID password. Okay. Complete your authentication and get your access token. We receive an access token. Just copy this access token value. Copy this. Now we'll just try to do the validation of this access token, right? So we'll just go to the introspect call. So in our Postman collection we have introspect calls, token introspection. Open this. Now you can see this how to call this. So this should be a post call. Okay, so in the post you just need to give the address of introspect. It should be like https colon the base URL of PingFederate and then as introspect.auth2, and in the body you just need to define client ID, client secret, and the access token. So I'll paste the access token. Okay, and client ID and client secret I'll just bring it from that place. So let me go back again. I'll just copy the client ID okay, and post it there. No, it's not this. Yeah, so paste the client ID and just bring the client secret from there and paste it in our introspect call. Yeah. So these things you need to add in the body with the XWW form URL encoded like client ID, client secret, token. This is basically we are testing for the auth code flow, not for the PKC. In PKC, you are not supposed to give the client secret. Just you can use the client ID and token, and it should work. So for this, just give client ID, client secret, token, and just bring the URL so we can test this. So the URL will be the base URL of PingFederate. So should be, this is our base URL. Copy this and put in the postman. Okay, so this looks good. Our introspect call is this, and you just need to pass this value. So basically the resource server is sending this parameter to authorization server to do the validation of the access token. Now just click on send. Once you click on send, you will get, okay, we are getting that 401 unauthorized. What happened? So it says error description, client ID value doesn't match HTTP basic username value. What is this? Client underscore ID, client taken. Yeah, this looks fine. The address I put in, yeah, this looks good. Client underscore ID value doesn't match HTTP basic username value. Why it says like this? Okay, I think maybe I passed in the basic auth. No, okay, I just need to change this to bearer token, I think. Let me try again. Yeah, so that's the basic authentication by default, it's mentioned there. So I just moved that to bearer token. Okay, it's a way that we are doing the validation. So just change that authorization here, the auth type to bearer token, and in the body just pass like client underscore ID, client secret and token, and just send it to introspect call. So now you can see the token is validated and you're able to see the token information, the user information, basically like subject, scope, issuer, the access token basically value. You are able to get that once you call this introspect. That basically tells resource server that token is valid. Now resource server can allow client to access the resource. Okay, so this is the way you can try. And for PKC, just you are not supposed to give the client secret, just pass client ID and token, it should work. Okay, so yeah, let's jump to the next session where we discuss about the other way of token validation, that is using auth JWKS key. Okay, so let's begin. Let's jump to that session. Thank you.